So thank you so much, Fnan, for joining this session today. I'm so happy that you're here. It's been a while. We've been talking about you coming to speak to us. Um,
Mhm.
so maybe we can just start by a quick introduction of yourself, and then we can take it from there for those
All
who
right,
do not know who you are.
brilliant. So thanks again, Alfred, for having me here. I'm so glad we were able to do this after quite some time. So, we've had plans to do this for a while now, and I truly appreciate you for inviting me to do this call. And I am Fnan Teklay. I'm a personal brand and communication strategist. I'm based in Italy, so between Milan and Tuscany at the moment. And I am really grateful for the work that I do. As a personal brand strategist, I work with leaders, multicultural leaders specifically, service providers, entrepreneurs, experts, you name it. Um, Basically, folks who are looking to develop their personal brand and thought leadership. That's what I do, and the way that I do, or the way that I support them through this journey, is by offering services and insights that support them in crystallizing their message and finding clarity in what they do, or how they should present their work and themselves in the workplace, and then making sure that they are in a position where they're able to be recognized for the good work that they do. And yeah, in a nutshell, that's what I do.
Thank you for that introduction. So maybe if you talked about multicultural leaders as some of the individuals that tend to get most value out of you.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start by just exploring what are the unique challenges that multicultural leaders face in developing and maintaining their personal brand.
Absolutely. So first, to just briefly tell you what a personal brand is for those who don't really understand it. It's the practice of marketing oneself and one's career as brands would, basically. Except that in this context, it's letting your ideal audience or network see and understand the value that you bring to a body of work. And so, it's essentially how you present your unique, the unique attributes that you bring to the table. So the combination of skills and experience and personality to the world. And so this is what really forms your professional narrative or reputation, as some would say. And so in the to like personal branding in the context of multiculturals, basically, is for those who are looking to let me rephrase that. Multiculturals are those with multiple cultural backgrounds, right? They have multiple backgrounds and experiences, and so for us multiculturals, personal branding becomes really crucial. It's really important because it's not just about being seen for what you bring to the table, but it's also being chosen for your unique value and perspective in an overly saturated place. And so, I believe that you have an unfair advantage in your ability to bridge cultural gaps and provide unique solutions. And so, coming back to answer your question about like the challenges that multicultural leaders and experts face, is usually in balancing authenticity with the need to appeal to a broad audience. And so there's the risk of cultural misrepresentations or not fully connecting with segments of their audience due to differing cultural contexts. And so this is a very important thing to highlight. But additionally, there's also the fact that they have to address stereotypes and biases that may affect others' perceptions of their personal brand and their ability to do their job. And so you find someone who is struggling to integrate all aspects of their identity into how they show up and get things done. And I believe that this very struggle to be a strength, because this unique combination of expertise, experience, and identities that they're able to bring to a body of work or the workplace is what makes you one of a kind and irreplicable. And that's, in my opinion, the best way to date to build a strong, magnetic personal brand that seamlessly connects you with your best fit clients, investors, and partners, and high-profile opportunities.
And that's very powerful, because I myself, I think when I was in UK, I struggled just finding how I fit in, because when I went to workplace, the culture was very different, and I come from a culture of I wouldn't say outspoken, but people who are very social. You say hello to everyone, and but that was different in the places where I was working, where people tend to just be, you get to your office, you just sit. You don't have to say hello to anyone. So for me, that was a little bit strange, but sometimes I felt like maybe I was being too much, or my energy was too much for other people. So it took me a while to just like, where do I find the balance? Like being professional, not being labeled as unprofessional or not serious just because I have a bubbly energy, and which is because I'm hospitable or I'm social, because of the background of where I come from. So it's a struggle, but I didn't had what you just said, how to bring how to harness that so that it's actually become a unique strength that you can bring to the team.
Absolutely. So unique. It's sometimes, I tell people that I work with, this thing that you're probably struggling with right now about your background, your identity, your culture is, I would say, 99% the best thing about you, or that differing factor that makes you stand out and makes you different. So definitely learning to hone that is so important.
So maybe we can just look at on how can leaders, especially multicultural leaders, because we are going to focus a little bit on that more than, but I think also some other kind of leaders may also benefit from this. How can they incorporate their multicultural experiences into their personal branding in the way that is not only authentic but also impactful? And maybe in terms of impact, we're thinking about how can you have an impact beyond workplace, so that we can have, even if we are in a setting that is outside the work environment, we can still be able to shine and to stand out and still be authentic, impact other people.
I love that. So to seamlessly and genuinely, authentically incorporate your multicultural experiences into your personal branding efforts, you can start off by, as simple as sharing your stories and the lessons learned from diverse cultural contexts. So storytelling is really effective here, because it is, it not only humanizes you
Mm,
and to relatable to your ideal audience and your best fit clients as well, but it also showcases the breadth of your understanding and empathy. And I find that there are great platforms for you to be able to do that today. LinkedIn is, as well as Medium, is a great way to showcase that, or to use it to storytell, and so on. And then you've got also video focused platforms like YouTube. You have social media channels, such as Instagram and TikTok, and that provide more casual spaces to share daily reflections and cultural moments, making your brand more relatable and engaging.
oh, nice. And how, for example, if when we're thinking about personal growth as you continue to grow as a, whether you are still in a mid-level or you're still a lower level, as you grow in terms of your career or any personal growth, how can we have, where do we view the intersection between with the personal branding, or especially for multicultural leaders?
Okay, so, personal growth is foundational to effective personal branding in the first place for multicultural leaders. Understanding one's own cultural biases, strengths, and areas for growth is really super important. And this self-awareness allows you to navigate your multicultural identity more confidently, showcasing a brand that is both genuine and inclusive. And then continuous personal growth through learning and experiences across cultures also enriches your brand. And I feel like this is what makes it really dynamic and adaptable to diverse audiences.
So my language, my original language is Swahili, and I think I had I'm not sure if I told you this. There was one point I wanted to communicate in my I think I did say to you in my native language, which is Swahili, now being spoken over around all over East Africa, I think, and some of the Central African countries. But however, the struggle is sometimes I feel like maybe that doesn't look professional at the same time. So it kind of like, okay, so is it, how do I incorporate, my native language into my personal brand? How do I do that? Because it kind of, LinkedIn is more like English kind of dominant platform. It's the platform that I use most. So how do I bring that and harness, and use that to my advantage to build my personal brand?
Yes. I really love this question from the moment you talked about this. So there are two sides to this question that I'd like to address. First is in the context of, the use of, like when it comes to communicating or speaking to your audience using simple language, right? So simple language for communicating complex ideas and concepts so that it's easy to understand, right? Because this affects your ability to be chosen. And the clearer and more selective you are with your choice of words and your tone, the better. And then this other side about this question that really gets me going is, how as a cultural expert, usually you're also multilingual. So in your case, Swahili and English, and I feel like there are a couple of other languages in there
The
too.
other ones, I'm not that, I'm not yet there.
They are there.
I'm working on that slowly.
Yeah, but they are there. And
Yeah.
so this advantage really significantly amplifies the reach of your personal brand. It allows you to communicate with such a bigger audience, no? It opens doors to multiple markets and communities, allowing for more profound engagement. And moreover, it demonstrates respect and like a willingness to meet your audience in their comfort zone, which in return enhances relatability and trust. This therefore leads to more substantial and meaningful connection within your industry. And so I do have a question for you though. In the workspace, whenever you do business, how often do you use Swahili?
My God, I don't think it's that much. So I use it. I have my business is not that big. So when I interact with clients or potential clients in Tanzania, I still use English a lot.
Yeah.
Which maybe should try to switch. So unless I'm explaining something over the call. So if I do the text, I will do the text in English, and then if I do the call, I'll try to relate to the audience by using Swahili, and that way you keep the energy flowing.
Yes.
So I'm guilty by not using my native language.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. You see, so you incorporate Swahili to some extent, somewhere in the way you communicate with obviously somebody who understands the language over the phone. And even I imagine a Swahili person, or let's say somebody who is leading a high profile gig, right? Who happens to be managed by a Swahili leader. Or the audience are Swahili, or sorry, I said Swahili leader, but leader who speaks Swahili, excuse me.
No, but actually Swahili leader is still correct. So
it's correct.
Swahili is also, Swahili is also a people, like we are Swahili people. So you can say, Swahili leader.
Yeah.
So I think Michael will put a text there if I'm right or if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
We have one more audience here, so
yeah,
I didn't
want to assume, but generally speaking, when you incorporate your Swahili-ness into the way you communicate, you become so relatable, really approachable to your Swahili audience. And these are one of the ways in which you're able to truly stand out in your expertise, in your niche, for your community. You become somebody who is a leader in your niche or in your professional specialty because of your Swahili-ness, I would like to add. So those are the like unique flavors that only you can bring, versus let's just say both of us offer the same solution, right? And we probably both also communicate in English to appeal to our to a greater audience. And in your region, your country, maybe even in Africa, you would be the go-to between us two, simply because you have that extra added unfair advantage. And so this is why I truly believe that today it is more important, like more relevant than ever at this point in time, because it's just a lot of people offering exactly what you offer, doing exactly what you do. And so if you can paint this um, difference or a stroke of difference in what you do, just so you can stand out, then use it, is what I would say.
Yeah. I like that. I think I'll take your advice and start to see whether I can do some of my communication on the platforms using maybe once a week I can do maybe Swahili, and then the rest is English. Just, I don't know, find a combination, the right combination.
Yes, I do that a lot. Actually, I don't know if you see this
yes, you
in
do.
my content. So sometimes I'll just say a couple of words that naturally come to me in Saudi Arabic, specifically from Jeddah. Our Arabic, our dialect is a little bit, unique. It's recognizable. And so I'll sprinkle it here and there because it naturally flows out of me. And I don't hold back when that happens. And guess what? I have a huge community.
Amazing.
Because of that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if there's anything as such as protecting your brand, and if there is, how can a leader protect and enhance their personal brands, especially on this digital age, considering risks of like misinterpretation or cultural sensitivity?
Oh, yeah, I love that. There certainly is plenty of ways to do that. So, to protect and strengthen your brand in the digital age, especially as a multicultural expert and leader, two things you can do. First, I feel like you must be proactive in managing your online presence, even if you're not a multicultural expert. But for us, we gotta do a little bit extra, no? So this involves regularly auditing social media profiles, engaging in meaningful conversations, and like addressing any insensitivities or misinterpretations that that come up, I would say promptly and transparently. So important, because sometimes messages may get lost in translation. So it's our responsibility to be able to do that. And then two, I would say create content consistently. And this is because it truly is the best way to control your narrative so that others won't have to do it for you. Right? You want to be able to say, I am this and that, and this is what I do, versus somebody else saying, oh, I think Fnan does this and that, but I'm not sure. Or, put words in your mouth, as they say. So this is really crucial, and you do that by creating content often, frequently. Then, of course, I recommend continuous learning and staying updated about digital etiquette and cultural trends, as I feel this too can help you avoid potential, pitfalls and maintain a positive and a respectful online brand.
Nice. I may have to take notes later on some of the things you're saying, because I feel like you're giving a lot of good ideas, and it'll be, I just want to make sure I get them. Could you share some maybe a practical exercise or daily practice for leaders looking to refine their personal brand?
Yeah.
Any, as much as you can share.
Absolutely. Ooh, yes. Practical exercises. I would say the first step to take, if you're really looking to start or improve your personal branding journey, is to define your core message. I talk about this a lot in my content. Your core message and your values as well, and how these are influenced by your multicultural background. So what core message lies at the heart of your mission, right? What is that message that you consider your responsibility to share? How do you want to be perceived? What do you want to be known for? So reflecting on what unique perspectives and experiences you bring to your field can help you carve out a distinctive specialty or expertise for your personal brand. And once you've figured that out, you want to obviously put it into action. So a few practical exercises include communicating your message. I recommend either in person, so when you talk about your expertise to other people, or through video. And, I'm all about the video. Video is everything right now as well. It helps you refine your message and enhance your delivery. This is why it's so important to do that, to communicate and share your message via video. And then you're going to know that it's working when your audience begin to engage with it, right? It's going to pique some people's curiosity, or it's going to be a great conversation starter as well. And so that's what I would do. Creating basically content daily or frequently in your preferred platform is another way to refine your personal brand. And I kind of briefly mentioned this earlier, but you can do this on LinkedIn if you want to grow your professional network and collaborate with like-minded professionals or industry leaders. You can tweet and share your insights or updates over on Twitter. Or you can even head over to TikTok to work on your on-camera skills unscripted. It's it's a great space today for raw, informal ideas to be shared that doesn't require, you to have the fancy look or outfits and fancy equipment, gear. You just get to grab your phone and talk. And this is going to help you such a great deal when it comes to building your confidence and on-camera skills. Another great, I would say, practice is to set clear and daily intentions. So every morning you can define maybe one specific intention that aligns with your personal brand goals. And it can be as simple as, all right, so today I'm going to be actively listening to somebody talk about XYZ during this meeting of mine to embody my brand's value of inclusivity, for example. Or you could say, allora, today I'm going to reach to, or, rather reach out to somebody who I would love to connect with, somebody I respect and admire, maybe in my particular industry or in a completely different specialization or industry. And this, is already going to propel your brand forward directly or indirectly. So I think these are the things I would do first before really taking on other big, let's say, big tasks.
Wow, it's quite a lot you've shared there, but how could so are there any resources you would recommend for our listeners or for people who will be watching this recorded? Any resources, could be books, could be specific blogs, it could be some of the resources from you, on how they can grow their personal brand.
Yes. So I do have plenty of resources here and there that you can look into, such as master class that I hosted for accomplished experts and business owners who are looking to amplify their reach and expand their authority to build a strong brand recognition in their industry. And you can find it at this link that I'm going to share shortly in the chat. Then I also have a weekly newsletter that you can access also in the links that I'll share later. And then just the daily content that I upload on these social media platforms. And then, of course, if you want to perhaps read a few books that may be helpful in your quest, you could look at some of the classic books, actually, such as Start With Why is a good one by Simon Sinek. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Yeah, I haven't read it, but I heard some good things about it.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then you've got This Is Marketing by Seth Godin. So pretty broad concepts, but really helpful in figuring out what route or route you want to take. And then there's also Reinventing You. I think it's called by Dory Clark. This is a decent one as well. So yeah, I would start there until, I come out with my own book on the subject.
Okay, thank you for that. There was one question that I may have skipped at some point, but I want to ask if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
So everyone talks about change, right? We talk about all the change is the only thing that is constant. The change we have now is it's not gonna get slower than this. It's just gonna keep on increasing. So how can multicultural leaders stay ahead in personal branding amidst changing global dynamics and cultural shifts?
I would really say embracing adaptability and lifelong learning. Really, at the end of the day, we get back to these concepts because it's so important to stay informed about global cultural trends. At this moment, there's a lot going on around good and bad. And sometimes it could be as simple as the new technological advancements that keep coming up, innovative projects and ideas. And you also want to stay updated about the shifts that is taking place in the digital landscape that are all really going to allow you to continuously refine your branding strategies. You'll always be able to pick things up from global events and all of these shifts that are constantly happening or taking place. So that's what I would really look into. And then networking. Networking is another fun way, a great way. I don't know if it's really fun for everybody, but maybe
fun for me, I guess. I love it. I love networking.
Okay, so, brilliant.
But I cannot speak for everyone, so I'm sure some people it's a scary thing. Yeah.
Yes,
I know a few.
Same. Just recently, one of my introvert clients had struggled with this concept, with this idea of networking. I understand it can be intimidating, but it truly also can be great, specifically when you network and connect with diverse groups, and seeking feedback, especially from varied audiences. This can also provide fresh and interesting perspectives and ideas for keeping your brand always fresh, relevant, and impactful.
Amazing. I'm checking. I don't know if Michael, you have any questions so far. If you have, you can go ahead and ask. But while you are thinking about questions that you have, we're gonna go for the next one. How can our listeners connect with you? And I know you're in LinkedIn, but
Yeah.
there could be other ways that they can reach out to you.
Mhm.
I'm sure not everyone can travel to Italy to see you there, but so that they can know about your work, they can know about how they can join some of the programs that you run.
Thank you. We can definitely connect on LinkedIn. So I will share the links right now, actually, while we're here. Chat and I'll grab this real quick.
In the meantime, Michael, if you have any question, please share with us. We would like to hear any question that you have.
Here we go. Yeah, so
Thank you so
LinkedIn is
much.
a great way. And I'm pretty active on Instagram as well. So you can always reach out and say, hey, over there. And I'd say also the best way to learn about my work would be through my newsletter. I share a lot of ideas and tips and more information on my signature personal branding program for business owners, leaders, and service providers looking to build their thought leadership brand. So it's all linked in the message that I just sent. And for those of you who are really interested in jump-starting your personal brand journey, who are planning to implement all that we talked about today, and you're planning to reach new audiences and their ideal clients, best fit clients, as I like to say, and you're serious about developing your personal brand this year, then we can connect and you can book a call with me to chat. And in that time, we're going to explore how you can establish your authority and expedite your personal brand journey in levels where you can reach your short and long-term goals. So yeah, it's all linked over there.
Good. For those who may not, if in case this recording does not show the link, I'm just gonna try to pronounce the link for the newsletter, because that's what Fnan is recommending a lot. So it's a home.fnan, which is FNAN.co. So you can join that.
Yes.
All right.
That's the one. This has been great. How are you feeling about all this?
Good. I think there's a lot that you shared, and as I said to you, I think before when we had a chat, what I noticed is when you have a systematic plan, which you once gave a plan of like 6 months plan or 8 months plan, which I didn't finish, but I did follow it, the idea in general, and I saw a massive change. So I think it's a lot of the things you talk about comes down to someone having that intention of and commitment to actually do it as something consistent and something that is really worth investing. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm sure that there will be a lot of people who will be able to take some value out of this, and hopefully either come to you for help or start to think about personal branding in a more serious way. And that's my hope out of this. I think, Michael, now you're ready to ask a question. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I think it's evening on all sides.
Yes. Good
Yes.
evening. I hope you're well, my
Uh, yeah. So, firstly, I'm very happy to finally meet you, man. So, yeah,
Thank
I had a question. Maybe you can have some input. So, in the whole idea of branding
you.
generally, and also, so it also applies in personal branding. So, I realize you need to pick a niche, like an area where you will be maybe perceived as an expert on, and things like that.
Mhm.
Yes. So what happens if you face a situation where you are, uh, I would like to use the word multi-talented or involved in many things or more
Yeah.
than one thing, right?
Yes.
In more than one thing, but you
Mhm.
want to build your brand. So how would you go about that? Would you be forced to pick one? And let's say maybe you are almost equally good and you love them all the same. Would you be forced to pick one? How would you go about that situation?
Such a great question because I myself, I'm multi-passionate. I've got interests in several things. And so I really resonate with this question. So carving out a niche is helpful, right? In the sense where it's able to um, almost decide what your next steps are going to be. It's going to guide your next steps. So with a niche, it's truly easier to develop a brand and be known for the one thing that you're really great at, where you have extensive experience at, and you have, all sorts of, you've got the talent, you've got the passion. And so when you're able to identify it, it truly does help and it's going to accelerate your personal branding journey. Now, as a multi-passionate, I'd like to use the term multi-potentialite, which is actually a term that was first coined by I can't remember her name. I'll be happy to forward you the information. But as a multi-potentialite, somebody with multiple interests and talents, um, what I would usually recommend is to focus your interests. The reason I say this is because when you're doing multiple things at once, it's really going to exhaust you at some point. And it also might end up confusing your audience. This is obviously in the short term, right? So if money, clients, and whatnot is not a necessity for you in the short term, then yeah, I would go ahead and build a personal brand around all my interests, because maybe you're looking to build goodwill. Maybe you're looking to just grow your network and connect with other creators and other experts and professionals. So if that is the goal, then yeah, by all means, do everything you want to do or whatever you feel like, and engage in all those activities. However, if you are in a situation where you probably, you are in dire need of work, clientele, a little bit of income to sustain your obviously living and your business and whatnot, then I would say focus your energy on one thing and one idea, simply because it's easier to build uh, momentum and to attract interest towards it, right? So that's really what I would recommend. You would really have to uh, look into what really is the goal, depending on which is your priority between the two. So what we just talked about, getting out of a situation where you're in need, and then versus being comfortable with just building your brand, goodwill, no urgency, no client urgency, no income urgency. Depending on those two, you get to pick, really. Does that help, Michael?
Yes, it helps a lot.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear. You're most welcome. Very welcome.
I think that helped not just Michael. I'm sure we have lots of people who struggle with that. I am still in a place closer to that, so I have few things that I do, but I think I may have to pick one thing at some point.
Yeah.
I managed to pick two, so I'm getting there.
Okay, that's good. That's good. You got this.
Yeah, was a lady called Emily, and the one that coined the word.
That's it.
Okay.
Her last name, it's a long one.
What Nick?
What Nick? That's all?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's not a difficult name, but yeah, that's the one.
If it's correct. Okay.
She is the one. She's got a really nice TEDx video that you'll find.
I see it here. Yeah. Why some of us don't have one true calling? The name of the TEDx. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, worth looking at it. And truly, I really resonated with this because for a long time, I myself had to go through this challenge of really deciding, okay, what are we going to do, right? What's the next step? And when you start looking at multiple things all at once, it really scatters your focus. I need to, at least this is my nature, to do something properly. I do need to focus on it for a little while until it starts generating whatever it is that I wanted to do for me. And once I've been able to successfully achieve my goal, whether short or long-term goal, then if I'm feeling all right, I'm done with this now. It's a new season, and so I'm feeling like doing something else. And that's when I jump onto a different interest, depending on what season I'm at, what I'm really feeling like, and yeah, that's worked very well for me.
That's especially I would imagine for people who are just starting business, they're starting their own entrepreneurship journey. One of the experience I had is I would offer a service and then the client would ask a different service, and then I'll say, okay, then I just have to figure out how to do this service, and then so that I can sell, because I just started the business, so I cannot necessarily say no. And then later on, as time goes on, you're starting to, as the business start picking up, then you can start dropping off some of the things. You can start saying no to this, or you can refine your branding to just specific things that you can invest more time, because you need to invest time. Like you say, if you want to do it at a very high level, you need to watch TEDx, read books, do some research, look at some scholastic research, or anything that will just give you a deeper understanding on the key concepts and ideas and trends on that specific topic.
Absolutely.
Or area.
May I add, one thing? A really cool thing about your personal brand is that us humans, we're usually multifaceted, right? So there's many sides to us, and just the way that we have all these different sides to us, our personal brand is allowed to have those many sides as well. And so you can absolutely integrate other interests and other passions into the way you do things and the way you show up, and like you could have your side projects ongoing and whatnot. If it does not affect your focus, by all means, continue engaging in that.
Yeah.
But if for some reason that's in the short term, just for now, perhaps getting in the way of you achieving a particular result, like that you've got an objective, like you have to meet a deadline, then it's worth really honing into one idea, one concept, just in the short term. That could be 1 month, it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, whatever that look like for you. And then you can move on once you are done with that onto something else.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. All right. So I think we have come to a close. And thank you so much, Fnan, for this insightful insightful 50 minutes, 52 minutes.
Yeah.
So for for those, yes. So for those who just came bumped into this recording, I hope you find some value from this, and feel free to reach out to Fnan via LinkedIn and other platforms, even Instagram, in case you need more help. Thank you, Michael, for joining us and asking some questions, and maybe some closing remarks from you, Fnan. Anything that you'd like to say just to close the session?
I just want to thank you for that. Thanks for this opportunity. And I would like to add, maybe it's just a little reminder for you, multicultural leader. Just remember that you truly are one of a kind. There's nobody out there in the world who can do things the way you do, and the way you've been brought up, the little flavor that you bring to anything you do. It's truly special. And so if you take a moment to really I suppose I want to say value that, see its value so that others can see its value too. So yeah, I'm rooting for you, and you got this. Thanks for being here, for watching this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's the wrap. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next FME session. Bye for now.
That's it. Ciao. Thank you.
Bye-bye.